I got a NetGalley arc. Let me tell you about it. Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Jane Ray from Twofold Books, and I usually have more than one perspective or answer. I'm not sure I do today though, because I just absolutely loved this book. So this is part of my African author challenge for the year, and if you're interested, if you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe so you can catch up and see what's coming next. But today I am talking about The Eternal Audience of One by Remy Ngamije. I know I'm pronouncing that correctly because I found a video where he says his own name.
My name is Remy Ngamije and I'm from Namibia.
I will link that. And I read it on my Kindle because NetGalley does arcs as ebooks. If you're at all familiar with NetGalley, you know that you typically don't get approved for a book unless you have an 80% review rating. Well, this was the first book that I asked for, and it's the first book I got because I didn't know that. I didn't know I was supposed to work up to it, but I had included the African challenge in my profile, and I wonder if that's the reason they awarded me the book. Anyway, I'm excited that I got it. I'm excited to tell you about it. It was amazing. I feel like some of the things I read about it on NetGalley sort of promoted it for its exceptionalism, for its being from Africa. They compared it to The Brief and Wondrous Life of The Brief and Wondrous Life of Oscar Woe by Junot Diaz, which is right here, but I haven't read yet. So I don't know if that's a fair comparison or not, but I wonder if I would have picked up this book if I weren't doing the African Author Challenge, and this book has something for everyone. So I'm gonna try to review it without any spoilers, but if you're like me and you like to go into a book with almost no information at all, I'm just gonna say a few hype things and then you can skip the rest of the video. So this book is definitely a contemporary millennial story and work of art. There are passages in it that are exclusively text messages between characters, and there are also some inserts of other writing projects, essays that the characters have done. The writing style is definitely humorous, but also poignant and sometimes bittersweet or sad. This book talks about racial justice in Cape Town and Windhoek. This book is addressing issues of racial justice in South Africa and Namibia. That was a really interesting thing to read and see. I mean, I know that there's a long history of apartheid in South Africa, but I think that the narrative that I got through, the osmosis is like there was a problem and there isn't anymore, which is just a very, how do I say this? It's very similar to America's perspective on post-racial America. It's a myth that we're being sold, and it's not really true, and I really appreciate getting a glimpse into it through a work of fiction. There are characters in this who've experienced immigration, who've experienced displacement, who've traveled to Europe, who've traveled to other parts of Africa. There are characters who are gay and straight, bi. There are characters who are high class. There are characters who are struggling and working hard. There is some academia. There's an interest in music. The book includes the perspective of parents. So that's a big one for me. I love that in books. Like I'm saying, I'm pretty much sure there's something in here for everyone. So now to say a little bit more specifically, the story focuses on the character Seraphine, who is the eldest child of a family that evacuated Rwanda during the war and found their way to Namibia, where they found work and success, enough success to send their kids to private school, and Seraphine gets a scholarship to go to college in Cape Town in South Africa. But they are not awarded citizenship and they have permanent residency as immigrants in Namibia. Seraphine, as the main character, is eager to return after the Christmas break to Cape Town to finish his law degree and be with his friends and be in a place he considers to be more cultural, more sophisticated, more exciting, more woke than Windhoek, Namibia. The story begins at him waking up on New Year's Day, being asked to do chores by his mother, and the first third of the book really only takes place across like that 24 hours. But it's like zooming into a painting of a party where at each moment, you know, the story goes along and you're with Seraphin for a little while and investigating his memories, and then it'll zoom in on mom and you get a lot of her life story, and then it'll zoom in on dad or the siblings, or maybe we'll go a little further back with Seraphin and learn about a different time in school. So it's just so much rich content for such a short period of time. And I was at about the third way mark before the part ended, and I was like, is this gonna be the whole book, that it's just this party? I was thinking, done right, that could be really exceptional and really impressive, and done wrong, that could be really kind of boring. Well, the author may have agreed with me, because after that he gets our character back to Cape Town and we're experiencing a lot of other things. But that trend throughout it to also share other characters' backstory and perspective doesn't go away. And so we get a lot of interesting backstory from characters who are from other countries as well. Some of the characters are white, some of the characters are mixed, some of the characters are queer, and we're sort of understanding, like, the first third, it's how did everybody get to the party? And in the next rest of the book, it's how did they get to this moment? How did they get to this law school or this friend group? Overall, I would say the plot of this book, it's not really a coming of age story. I feel like there's like mini stories, flash stories in there too. But this is more like a quarter-life crisis. This is a proper quarter-life crisis millennial story. It's my first experience of a quarter-life crisis narrative done really well. Done so well, I want to see more of them. Ngamije is also just a talented writer. I think everyone will enjoy his writing style, his humor in his writing, the way he sets a joke up. By the second third, the book is so much funnier than the first third, but those jokes wouldn't have paid off without all the background he gave you in that first third. He's a very poignant writer. He's a very literary writer. I think you'd be missing out if you don't ask your library to get this so all your community can read it and pick up a copy for yourself. And I'm not just saying that because they gave that to me for free. There's proof on my Goodreads of me just being brutal to a giveaway. I don't know if that's an okay thing to do, but I've done it. Parting words on An Eternal Audience of One. Just read it. You'll thank me. See ya.